my concrete hat. Somebody stole my regular baseball cap. So, this is what I got. Now it's time for you to do a selfie.
This was definitely a process, putting this in. It was pretty exhausting. We are very grateful though that we had Mike here to help us. Mike, if you're watching this, thank you so much. There's no way we would have been able to do this without him. I mean, it's a lot of work to get a big pad like this level and to get it nice and smooth, and I think we did okay. You know, it's gonna work out. This is gonna be for a shed. I know I talked about that briefly in the last video. We're gonna have a large, basically like a little garage kind of thing. It's gonna be pretty tall and pretty big. We will also use this for additional rainwater catchment, and then we're gonna try to disperse that rainwater throughout the property to any other structures, maybe to the tiny house, and then whatever else we build into the future. And then the biggest thing is in the corner of this garage, of this shed, we're going to have a little walled off section, and that is going to be for the solar system. It's going to house the batteries. We're actually going to try to keep it heated throughout the winter so the batteries don't get too cold or anything like that. And that's going to be like the bulk of the solar system for the whole property. So this will kind of just be like a hub for the property. We're excited about getting it going and getting the shed actually built on there. That'll be the next step. For me this morning, my goal is to start working on that new solar system. I picked up the new system yesterday and got it all loaded into the truck at the freight yard. It was a FedEx Freight Center actually, so that was a new experience, but pretty fun. Got that in here, and then we also have 10,000 watt hours of lithium batteries along with an inverter charge controller. Obviously, I can't set that stuff up yet because the shed is not built, but as soon as we get the shed assembled and everything, I'll be able to start working on that. For now, what I can do is get these solar panels out of the bed of my truck. I think there's about 3,000 watts of solar in here. I am probably going to borrow a couple of these and run them into the tiny house temporarily. This IKEA order for the kitchen and cabinetry for the tiny house has been kind of a nightmare to deal with. It was supposed to get here last Friday. It didn't arrive. Then it was supposed. It was then supposed to arrive on Monday. I waited around all day for it again on Monday. I got a couple of calls saying that they were having issues with a truck or something like that. Never showed up. Rescheduled it for Thursday. Waited around all day then for it. Never showed up again. And today's Friday, so we're on the fourth day of attempted delivery and it hasn't come. So in total we have 10 panels at 330 watts a piece. So I think what I'm going to do with the 2x4s is just put 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. So pair them up like I did with the 200 watt panels that we have at the cabin right now. And I don't obviously have enough 2x4s for that. I do have to run to the store to buy a bunch of 2x4s. So I'll get to this when I get to it. But for now, I can just get some measurements and figure out exactly what we're going to need. And this did all come as a kit from Watts 24/7. It's got an inverter and then some batteries, like I said before. It's a 48 volt system. So it should be more than enough for what we need as we continue to develop this property. Shannon bought it with the investor that she's working with on the property, and I'm going to have the pleasure of building the whole thing and installing it. So I'm just going to keep rolling with this. These two panels are plugged into the tiny house right now, and it's working. I'm getting power in there for the first time. Seems to be working really well. So I'm gonna let those charge up the battery, probably do some work in there at my new desk, and then kind of alternate my time doing that and getting started on building these stands for the solar panels. We ended up going into town this morning to pick up the last of the 2x4s so that I could finish up with the solar stand things, and then we also got a bunch of stuff for inside the tiny house. I'm guessing at this point we're probably going to stop with the tiny house Tuesday videos. The last one was probably the final one because we're making a lot of progress in there. I mean, Shannon is absolutely killing it. She is finishing all of the trim. It's pretty much 100% done at this point. She's also done a bunch of the painting in there, and I kind of want to show you guys, so let's go check it out.
For a tiny house, there sure is a lot of stuff to cover up. We're making it beautiful though. One board at a time.
Your patience. Please stay on. We'll be back in a moment.
I have been on hold with this logistics company for the IKEA order for like 3 straight days. I've probably been on hold for 3 or 4 hours total over the past couple of days, just sitting here. I have never gotten through to anyone. I sat on hold for an hour the first time, and they hung up on me. They picked up the phone, didn't say anything, and then clicked end call, and they did it twice. So I'm going to try again this morning, see if I can't get through. I really just want to go pick up this order at this point. I don't think they're going to want to deliver it out here. It's a win-win for everyone if I just go pick it up. I just have to talk to someone and let them know that I'm willing to do that. So this whole time I was blaming the logistics company, but in reality it ended up being an issue on IKEA's end. I never did get in touch with the logistics company. They have pretty terrible customer service. I sat on hold for another hour and they hung up on me. Again, never got through to anyone there, but I guess there was a mix-up where IKEA did not get the order to the shipping company, and then the shipping company was obviously not able to deliver it. Regardless, they did work with us. They refunded us partially for our order, and we should be getting the full thing next week. So we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I definitely have a few other things to work on in here. Shannon has been making some amazing progress with painting the walls and caulking, and then all of our batten strips here, and then everything around the windowsills, and it's really coming together. I mean, we're getting very close with this. Today, I'm going to try to finish the shelves that I was building, those bedside little tables. I am going to have a little section above them as well for an outlet, just a small outlet with USB port. So I'm going to get that all finished up, and then we're going to sand that down, paint it, and caulk it in, and make it look nice. And then later this morning, Mike is going to be coming back. Mike primarily specializes in plumbing. He's a plumber, and he's going to come out and hopefully help me get the tiny house water system set up. I did build this shed, I think it was in the last video, and that houses our pressurized well tank. It's a 20-gallon well tank. We're going to run a just like a standard pump, a water pump in there, and then that's going to pump the water from this large 550-gallon tank behind me. So we're going to run that in, it'll pressurize the well tank, and then from there we're going to run a line from the well tank into the tiny house, probably on the side here. We actually have a standard like RV water input that we're gonna mount on there and get that caulked and sealed in and everything. And then obviously do the plumbing inside to run it to the shower and then to the sink as well. Obviously we don't have the sink yet, but hopefully next week I'll be able to get that all set up and finished up once this IKEA order gets here. And we figure we might as well have them come out for a few hours today. We're gonna clean up the concrete pad as well, remove the framing in there, and then kind of go from there. I think I'm gonna end this video here though, guys. It's gonna be a busy day. I don't really want to have to worry about working with the camera and everything like that. I got plenty of stuff to do. Shannon and I are actually going to be heading out of town the day after tomorrow. We're heading to San Francisco for a week. She has to go for work. She's going to be there quite a bit longer than that, but I'm just going for a few days to hang out, and I'm actually going to be working with GTRV for a day as well and working on making some content for them. So I'm looking forward to getting out of here and going to California. I haven't been to California in a long time. It's been a couple of years, so definitely looking forward to that. And then I'll be back out here shortly after that and back to work on trying to make the final push and get this tiny house finished up. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you all in the next one.